Hello, EVO flippers, and welcome to our week 3 or learning culture, the pillar L. We are going to be creating flipped learning lessons. So, welcome and allow me to walk you through what we are going to do during this part of the course, the session. Hello, EVO flippers, and welcome to week 3, learning culture, creating flipped learning lessons. This week, we are going to be very busy creating a lesson plan. So allow me to walk you through our week 3. So during this week, you are expected to reflect on the pillar of learning culture and the teacher and learner's role in the learning process in a flipped learning environment. So if you scroll down in our homepage for in EVO for our week 3, you are going to find the pillar learning culture and the two indicators. So in the traditional teacher-centered model, the teacher is the primary source of information. By contrast, the flipped learning model deliberately shifts instruction to a learner-centered approach where in-class time is dedicated to exploring topics in greater depth and creating rich learning opportunities. As a result, students are actively involved in language construction as they participate in and evaluate their learning in a manner that is personally meaningful. Did you notice how I said language construction instead of knowledge? Okay, pun intended there. So as you can see, the learning culture pillar invites us to create more fertile learning spaces, as Lane Marshall calls them. And for doing that, we are supposed to give student opportunities to engage in meaningful activities without the teacher being central. So all of you that have mentioned in the discussion in Google Plus how you have strived to create a student-centered environment, this is for you. This is for those of you who have started to take a step aside and letting your students do most of the work. So also we need to scaffold these activities and make them accessible to all students through differentiation and feedback. So this is a key word for flipped learning, differentiation. How many times do we deliver the same lesson to all the students and we know how some students are not getting it, but still we have to move on and just let it go like that. So if we flip our classroom, we are more able to differentiate for those students who struggle, for students who have had difficult beginnings, for students who come from different backgrounds and different contexts and sit down in our classrooms and are expected to perform and to deliver. So this allows us to create those environments. And that's how we know if our environment is flipped, not only blended, if our classroom becomes that space where all students equally can feel that their process is being paid attention to. So, this week, our benchmarks are I have discussed the learning culture pillar, I have created a flipped lesson plan, and I have posted my materials on Google Plus community on week 3. Look at that beautiful picture. Those are my students. Okay, so what are key questions for the week? I just transformed one of the indicators into a question. Well, actually both. So what kind of opportunities do you give students to engage with the content without you being central? How do you scaffold activities for students? Share a particular example with us if you have one. Okay, so let's move on in our envelope page. I'm sorry about the scrolling up and down. Okay, so the tasks. On our week 3, we are going to put things under perspective. So we are going to check, the actual lesson plan in a classroom. So, first of all, you're going to tackle one or of the suggested resources for this week and think about your own context as you read and watch. Yeah. We also want you to check one or two of the lesson plans found in the resources tab and take some notes about things that call your attention and that you think you relate to and can be put into your own lesson plan. Yeah. So we have provided some examples for you and some layouts and formats, not because they are what you are supposed to do or because they are the best. It's just because they have worked for some educators like us. So I'm pretty sure you, with your teaching experience and with all your knowledge, you can come up with even better lesson plan formats that we did. We just want to show you some samples if you don't know where to start. Yeah. You're gonna share your lesson plans in the Google Plus space. So I'm gonna go to the Google Plus real quick to show you where that is. So this is the Google Plus, and here under discussions we have, okay, lesson plans, right? That's where we share. And here on pillar 3, it's where we discuss. So how do you do that? Whenever you click on post, yeah, and you have your post ready, right? It tells you where do you want it. So if it's your lesson plan, you are going to put it here on week 3 lesson plans. And if it's a discussion, you're gonna put it here on week 3 pillar L learning culture, okay? So remember that you can add, links. So you cannot add Word documents like from your drive, so from your hard drive, but you can from your Google Drive. So if you have it in your Google Drive, you just get the link and paste it here, and so everybody can see your lesson plan, okay? I'm gonna do it here. So I'm gonna find one. Okay, so I go to my drive, I find my file, I open up the link and take the link and copy and paste it into my Google Plus, right? In the link section, I just paste it here, and voila. Yeah, everyone will be able to see my lesson plan. Okay, that's the way we go. When you finish uploading, you just click on post and you select the week 3 lesson plans tab, and it's there. It's on the lesson plans. Okay. Going back to EVO, let's see where I am. Here you have Bloom's taxonomy to help you, inverted Bloom's taxonomy to help you think about your lesson plan as well. Okay, so our resources, we have a couple. We have, I'm sorry, we have a video by Frank, he's an EVO teacher. I think it's in Mexico, and well, he gives some pretty good ideas about the learning culture pillar in his own context. Then we have in-class flip, which is an idea first coined by Jennifer Gonzalez in 2014. And then, you can see it in Jan Berkman's certification, also called in flip. Marta and I have been working on it. So we have shared with you, this video from Jennifer Gonzalez where she describes what it is. Then you can see a blog post in here in this link if you want to read more about it, and what Marta and I have been doing about in-class flip as well in our courses. Why does in-class flip work? Because it allows you to differentiate. Because if students do not want to watch the videos at home, or they can't, then you can use in-class flip as a solution. So if you are an advanced flipper, if you have had difficulties implementing flipped learning in your context because your students don't want to watch the videos, I invite you to check in-class flip. Yeah, and also you have here some lesson plan samples, that are kind of formats that we have used. So for example, this is John Berkman's lesson plan format. This is something that you can find in his certification. You have a writing lesson plan. That is the one Juliana, my colleague, and I have come up with. And you have here the in-class flip layout that Marta has created. So as I mentioned before, these are not carved stone. These are just ideas for you. So if you want to grab them, fabulous. If you want to come up with your own, even better. And also, when writing your lesson plan and objectives, you can use the Bloom's Taxonomy Teacher Planning Kit, which allows us to have specific questions, for example, that you can use for accountability. You also have actions and outcomes and keywords for goals. So I think this resource is fantastic, right? All this is in ample. Okay, and don't forget that by the end of this week, we are going to have our guest. Our guest for week 3 is Ken Bauer from Tecnológico de Monterrey in Guadalajara, Mexico. So for all of my Latin American EVO flippers, we're going to have someone who is near us. So I invite you also to come to our synchronous session. And please do not ignore, our discussion questions. I know this week you're going to be pretty busy with the lesson plan, but still, discussing is the way that helps us to construct knowledge. So we hope to see you in the Google Plus community during our week. So welcome to week 3, and I hope it's enjoyable for everybody. And I hope you all learn lots and lots of things and practice with your lesson plan format. Um, See you in the meeting. All right? Bye, everyone.